ladies and gentlemen. Today is a very, very, very important day. We are celebrating 29 subscribers from all around the world have decided to invest their time and support this channel. Guys, I really, really, really appreciate it. If you like blended tutorial things and acoustic things, then subscribe to the channel, like the video. After a quick intro, we're going to jump into the nitty-gritty of the snake animation. Let's get it.
Since I was a tiny baby, I knew I was born for greatness. And as I rise from the ashes like a phoenix bird, equipped with sharp feathers and shiny beak, I can now face my fears, fly over my enemies, overcome any challenge, any foreign object. This is love!
Okay, so first thing you want to do is just go over to the description, download the Blender file. It's going to be a Google Drive link, so just download it with Google, open it up on your PC so we can do this together. Second thing you want to do when you got the file open is we're going to go over to shading, and you're going to go to the world settings, down over here. And you're just going to download, I'll also leave that link in the description, HDRI, I think it's Snowy Hillside. And you can go 4K or 8K, whatever you want, but just know the higher the resolution, the longer it's going to take to render. And this is also, we're going to be playing with a lot of blurry, we're going to be focusing on objects and things like that. So you can go for 2K, you can even go lower, you know, if your PC is taking really long to render. So first thing I'm going to show you guys is if you want to make this body, how to make this body, and if you want to make it longer, you want to make it longer or shorter. So let me show you how to do that quickly. So here I have a template. It's really small. I have a template over here, which is I've called a snake body template, ironically. Okay, and it's not rendering. This is just for the purpose so I can show you how to do it. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to add a curve path. Okay, you're going to go into edit mode, Shift S, cursor to selected, object set origin to 3D cursor, Shift C to reposition the cursor, Shift S selection of cursor. So we just have the same origin points. Okay, so first thing you want to do is we're going to give it a got the solidify those. First thing we're going to do is we're going to give it an array of 0.6. Now these things are much easier to do when you're working on the x-axis. That's the normal direction of it. So I'm just working for the normal origin point and then the x-axis. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to fit curve. You're going to select this curve over here, and it should go on like that. The next modifier we're going to give it is going to be the curve modifier. And again, we're going to change that down spot. So what you can do, what this allows you to do is, we go to this spot there. All right. Go into edit mode. So what you can do is you can extrude these vertices out to make it longer or shorter. Let me just go back. I don't know what the hell I did there. Okay, another thing you want to do is you just want to put the solidifier and the subdivision off while you're working this thing. Okay. So and then what you can do is go back to the curve on the top over here, and then what you do is you select your vertices and then you say radius. You can make it bigger. So at the tail, it's going to be 0, obviously. And then so you can go and you can model your snake. When you finish modeling the snake, you apply the curve in the array, because to make the snake move, we're going to apply it on a separate curve. So you need to apply those modifiers. Okay, but that's fine. For now, I'm just gonna. Can I go back? How far can I go back? Whoop. Let's see if I can go back all the way. Damn it. Alright, well, whatever. Let's just leave that like that. Okay, but for now we're just going to hide this. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to hide the head. We're going to hide the eyes. Okay, we're going to insert a curve like we did before. Path, go into edit mode. Shift C, cursor to selected, out of edit mode, object, set origin to 3D cursor, Shift C to reposition, Shift S, selection of cursor. I think I've done that one too many times. It's like mind muscle memory. Now what we're going to do while we're in the top view, we're going to extrude it, and we're going to give it like, you know, like these, how a snake would move. Now when we come to this one, we're going to look at it from this angle, and we're going to bring it up, because we want the snake to come up till around over there. We're going to go back in the top view, and then we can just take him around this piece, and then we're going to come back over here, so like that, and then we're going to come back over here, let it touch the top. Now we're just going to bring it at the top over there. We want him to go at the top, and then down, and then to the side, so it can look back at the camera. So we want something like that. Alright, now we're going to go from the top view over here. We're just going to clean up a bit. Like that. Now, when the snake obviously is crossing from this one rock to the other rock, its weight needs to go down. So this one needs to go down, and this one also needs to go down. Something like that. Okay, so we got our curve over there. Next thing we're going to do, go here. I already inserted the curve modifier, so we're going to select, click our curve over there. So what happens, if you grab it, move it around, it's going to do this. Okay, but if you grab it, and you move it only on the x-axis, it will follow this curve. So what we're going to do is, we're on frame 1. On frame 1, we're going to insert the location, then we're going to go to frame 600. Whoop. We're going to move it on the x-axis up all the way up until the end of this. We're still going to make some adjustments, so that's fine. You're going to insert the location again. So what's going to happen if you play this, it should follow along. Okay, that's exactly what we want. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring it here to here. Okay, and we're just going to do some editing on the curve over here. Let's bring it up, whoop, something like that. Okay, let him go. So what we want now around these, especially those, and this one, and this one. Now right click, and you're going to tilt it. You're going to make a snake sort of curl around it, and then we're just going to do some editing. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It just goes around that rock. That's fine. And we're going to come to this one, and we're going to take these, tilt that, something like that. Alright, and let's just get these a little bit more away, just to make it look more realistic. Got that over there, and then at the end, just going to make sure it's on the cliff. That looks pretty cool actually. Okay, now we're just going to come from the camera side like that, and come out. That looks cool. Okay, so that looks fine. Now next thing we're going to do, let's do the head quickly. So in order to do the head, let's just hide these small scales which are completely in the way. In order to do the head, what we're going to do is we're going to add a cube, scale that down, and we're going to give this cube, we're going to come down to these constraints, and we're going to give it a follow path. So now you select that. So you now do it in this order, okay, because this thing confuses me sometimes. So you click on the curve, you say follow curve radius, follow curve, animate path. Then make sure you're on frame 1. You say fixed position, okay. We're going to animate, we're going to insert a keyframe for the offset factor. You're going to go to 600 frames to the last frame, and then offset factor we're going to make 1, and you're going to keyframe that again. So now the cube should move along like that. That's exactly what we want. So now let's rename this cube. Let's call it, oh shit, parent. What am I doing? What am I doing? Parent cube. The mic in the way here. Parent cube. Okay. So you're going to go Alt H to unhide the head. I already parented the eyes to the head. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on the head. You're going to go Control. Click on Parent Cube. Control P. And then Object Key Transform. So we're parenting the head to the cube. So now the head should move along with the body. Foop. Okay. Now let's just quickly have a look over here to see where the head. Ooh, something's going on. Something's going on. Don't worry if that happens. That's fine. That's okay. All we're gonna do is going to go to frame 600, and this happens after you modify the curve. It will either be longer or shorter. So all you do to fix that, I'm gonna go to the top view again. You're gonna make sure you're on frame 600. You're gonna grab the snake body on the x-axis, and you're just gonna pull it back to where you want it to be. You're going to insert the location, and then now the head should stay on there. Okay, so let's come here from the top view. Let's come here, and we say play, so we can see the head is a bit touching in there. And we don't want no head touching no rock, man. So let's bring this part just a little bit further away, something like that. Let it go around. Let it go around. Oh. What's going on? And come back over here. Come back over there. Whoop! And there's touching the rock again. So all we're going to do is going to bring this thing up. Like that. There we go. Okay. So we're just going to go to frame 600 again. Frame 600. Now you're going to move it so it's in there and insert the location. Okay. So let's have another look now. Something like that. If we come here, boom. That's it. That looks pretty cool. Okay, so finish with the body and the head basically. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to come in with the camera motion just to give it some extra, so it doesn't look plain. So what we're going to do, we're going to come here, we're going to bring the camera up like that. I'm just going to rotate in the y-axis like that. I'm just going to bring it up. That's what I want our first thing to be. And we can zoom in. You're going to insert the location and rotation. What we're going to do is we're going to see where the snake comes into frame. Oh my gosh. Somewhere around there. So we'll put it on about 250. Bring it like that. Something like that. Sorry, I think this thing has some keyframes. There we go. Okay, so just delete the keyframes of the camera. That's why it's doing it the whole time. Stupid keyframes. Alright, so let's just zoom in. We're going to do something like that. From the top. Okay. And we're going to come in about here. 260. 260 we're going to start. So we're going to insert location rotation. Then we're going to give it about 320. Okay. So we're going to zoom out. I'm going to come down. Let's set it like this. On the Z. Actually, something like that. Something like that. Set location rotation. Okay. We're going to come like that. Maybe go to 400. 420. And let's go up until 530. Now what's going to happen is we're really going to zoom in over here. Bring it up. Bring it over there. I do something like that. Oh, what do I do now? Insert location rotation. Something like that. And then for the last few frames, what we're going to do is we're going to straighten the camera and we're going to zoom it out with the head. Boom, like that. And you're going to zoom it out like that. So everything's nice in there. Location, rotation. Okay, so let's see what does that look like. So we said we're going to start at 260. So let's just change the timeline to 260 and we'll see what that looks like. I like that. Got this nice, really slow motion. Really slow snow snake. Alright, that looks cool, just like that. Okay, now let me show you guys a trick quickly. I saw this somewhere on YouTube, I don't know where. So I can't even give credit, but I'll give him credit when I do find him. Let's do this. So, to make your camera like really nice and really smooth, what we're going to do is we're going to open up this graph editor. Okay, there's it. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I was somewhere else on the timeline, but whatever. So you're going to click on your camera. You're going to click A to select all of them. And what you're going to do is you're going to say Shift Alt O, and that's going to create like just a really lot of keyframes. So then what you're going to do is you're going to click Alt O once, okay, and that's to sort of smooth the keyframes out, and you're going to hold in Shift R. So just repeat that. Let me go to one that we can see better here, and we're just going to hold in Shift R. Just repeat it, and you'll see it sort of smooths all those keyframes out. Just a little bit. Boop, just to take that rough edge off. Where you at, man? Okay, so that's cool. Next thing we're going to do. I'm going to go into this view over here. Now the next thing that I have created for us, let me just see what this looks like. That looks cool. So next thing, I'm just going to say file save as. Snake template to me. So the next thing that we're going to do, I've created a camera focus empty, and it is quite self-explanatory. It is empty that's going to control the focus of the camera. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the camera, click on the camera, and we're going to say depth of field, which is already on the camera focus empty, okay? And we're going to put this on 0.3. Zoop. 0.3 will give it a nice blur. Okay, so we're going to go on the empty. Camera focus empty. So we're going to insert a keyframe for the location. We're going to go there till about 340. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this empty out so that it focuses somewhere on the snake. Actually, I just want it to be a little bit closer. Sorry, where am I going? Over there. You're going to insert that location, and let's carry on. So what we're going to do is now probably about 440 frames, maybe 440 frames. We're going to bring it back somewhere over there. Going to insert that location. Okay, go all the way. I'm going to insert that. And 530. Going to insert the location again. And then what we're going to do from 530 to 600, we are going to make a follow the head. Yeah, somewhere, something like that. Okay, I'm going to insert that location over there. Okay, so the focus is going to go from that entire thing basically to the head, and put the rest, make the rest blurry. Okay, so what we're going to do now is let's go to the camera again. We go to the focus, which is on 0.3. You're going to keep it on 0.3 up until where's that empty? Up until 530 frames. Click in the camera, Okay, so f-stop, we're going to keyframe that, zoop, and we're going to go all the way to 600. We're going to put it at 0.2 or 0.1. I don't know if 0.1 is going to, was a little bit too much. 0.2, 0.1, whichever one you want. Okay, let's leave it at 0.2 for now. I don't want it to blur the face really. Okay, so this is what we got so far. We're looking at it like this. Got the snake coming in, zoop. Coming at the top, going around over there, ditching that rock. Woo! Comes in nice and slow. Something like that. Okay, so that's cool. So what you want to do is, I already set this stuff up. I just used 500 samples, and we're going to use 30 frames a second. So another thing I just want to show you guys, if you want to make the snake slow or faster, you want to change the speed of it, right? All you're going to do, why is this thing still showing? All you're going to do is you're going to go to this num path, the curve, and what you're going to do is you're going to take one of these vertices and you're going to drag them out, right? Because if you only have a certain amount of frames, the longer the curve is, the faster the snake's going to move. And the shorter the curve is, the slower the snake's going to move, if that makes sense. Okay, because of time, I think. Something like that. I don't know what I'm saying, man, but just that you can control the time like that. And then you just, like I showed you with the scale, you just move the scale. Once you've edited the curve, you're just going to move the scale to the end, apply that location, and the head will just do its own thing. So let's go to the output over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your wherever your file is. You're going to accept it like that. You're going to make sure you have frame 260 to 600, and then we're going to go. I already set up everything over here. I'm rendering with 2 RTX 3090, so I can render pretty quickly, but you can always edit that. I did already. Sorry, one thing. Before we do that, okay, so that we don't have to render at such high quality, I've already added a denoise and a glare in for you guys, but this is only in the viewer. So I'm going to take that, duplicate them to the top. Sorry. Okay, that's fine. You're going to take them to the top. You're going to take this image into that image, and the image into this image. So that's going to apply to all of your renders. Okay. So next thing, we're going to go, whoop, and we're going to animate this thing. So you're going to go render. I just want to make sure everything's fine over here. Everything's cool. So we're going to go render animation, and it should render and then save all of your files. Okay, so I'm going to wait for this to finish rendering, and then we're going to turn it to a video, and then that's it. Okay, once your rendering is done, what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, and we're going to add video editing tab. Okay, so Shift A, image sequence, and then you're going to go wherever you saved all your PNGs. You're going to click on one, A to select all of them, add image strip. It should fit in there very nicely. Now, just for a few output settings, we want this, we're doing it 30 frames a second, but if you wanted really high quality 60 frames a second, you can basically just copy all of your keyframes. You can just copy all your keyframes and lengthen them out, I guess, or just, yeah, I guess I just did this example with 30 frames a second, but you can make it 60 frames a second. You're just going to have to adjust it here. It's going to be a lot faster, higher quality, so you're going to have to elongate all of the keyframes that you made, the length of them. We're going to leave it at 30 frames per second for now. This we're going to change to MPEG video encoding. It's going to be MPEG 4, and the quality is going to be high quality. Okay, so then to render this, you are literally going to go render animation, What else did I want to say? I want to say something else. Yeah, post-processing. So while the sequencer is checked, it's just going to render the stuff that's in this video editing tab. So if you want to go back and you want to re-render your PNGs, you put the sequencer off. If you want to render the images as a video, you're going to put the sequencer on. And then just another few things. You may get this something error, CUDA error, whatever, here at the top, and that's if you try and alter the subdivision on the scales. I think because there's so many, if you change this to 3, you're taking a risk, my friend. You're taking a big risk in your life. So, but I mean, go for it if it works for you. And then the other thing that can cause that error is obviously we are working with an actual HDRI, which is transparent. So if you're going to download 8K, 16K, I don't know how high it goes, but you may also get the CUDA error. So that's it, guys. Quick and easy. Quick and easy. I think I can just render this thing, see what it looks like. And that's it, guys. Up until next time. Peace out.